What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about a lot of problems I have with the Valorant community and the game, but mostly the community and mostly when it comes to skins. So a lot of Valorant players seem to have this stigmatism around Counter-Strike skins that every skin is $500 and you can't own any skins. This is simply not true at all, and Valorant skins are actually a lot more expensive for the most part than Counter-Strike skins. You can get a really good Counter-Strike inventory, a complete inventory for under $100. And in Valorant, you really just can't do that because a lot of Valorant skins are mostly $5 and up, and on the cheap end, they're like $18 sometimes. I personally own one skin, and that's the Black Market Classic, and that is $18 if you want to buy it by itself. Now, when you put that against something like the Glock Candy Apple, which looks a lot better in my opinion, which is 75 cents for factory new, it really is just not a great look. And I just want Valorant players to really understand that Counter-Strike skins are not as expensive as you guys think. It's more so knives and gloves, which can get really expensive. But even on that end, the most expensive knife in Valorant is $60, and it looks like Mega Man's butt plug or fucking dildo that he'd be shoving in his ass. Okay, awful looking skin, and it's $60. And the cheapest Counter-Strike knives start around $90. So they're more expensive, yes, but the cheapest Counter-Strike knives just look so much better than the most expensive Valorant knife. And the skins in Counter-Strike, a lot better looking for a lot cheaper, in my personal opinion. So for my second point, I wanted to bring up the fact that a lot of Valorant fans seem to be turned off from trying Counter-Strike because they think that it's just the most toxic game in the world. And while it can definitely be toxic, so can every other online game, let's be honest. And me personally, I've experienced a lot more toxicity in Valorant than I have in Counter-Strike. Also, the toxicity in Counter-Strike is usually at lower ranks. Once you get up into gold and past that, really past gold Nova, people seem to be more chill, a lot less cheaters. And yeah, I mean, you should definitely give it a try if you're turned off from the community. For my third point, I wanted to bring up how I really dislike that in Valorant. There's some times where like the other person just gets to win. Like it's not your fault, nothing happened, and you're better than this person, but they just get to win because they have some stupid ass ability. Like for instance, deadlock, where if he hits you with the thing or she hits you with the thing, whatever, and you just fucking get sucked in. And once you get to them, you die. And if your teammate doesn't do anything, well, you're dead. There's nothing you can do, and that really frustrates me in games when there's nothing that you did to die, and yet you die. Like there's nothing you can do against it. It's really just very dumb when you have to rely on your teammate to free you out of that thing. And if all your teammates are dead, well, guess what? You just got hit with this insta kill thing that is extremely easy to use. So that's just one thing that I really dislike about Valorant, because that's really with a lot of things in the game. There's just too many abilities, and they're just, a lot of them are so overpowered and unchecked, and there's not really a good counter for them. Like with Molotovs in Counter-Strike, they're really good, and they're better than a lot of the mollies in Valorant. But you can counter them with smoke pretty easy, and there's a lot more strategy, I think, in my opinion, that goes into Counter-Strike than there does into Valorant, just because you have less stuff to work with and it makes you more creative. In Valorant, you just have so much shit that you can just throw, and it's just like an ADHD fucking like discharge everywhere on everybody. It's very annoying, and that's just my major gripe with the game. And a lot of people like that sort of stuff, and if you like that sort of stuff, that's fine. Just my major gripe with the game, and a reason that a lot of Counter-Strike players don't like it, is because there's just these crutches that make it so much easier for everybody to play the game, and you really don't need as much skill as you do in Counter-Strike as far as basic skills like aiming and things like that, because you have other crutches to fall back on. Now, there's definitely strategy that goes into it, and I'm not saying it's an easy game, but what I am saying is that it's just dumb, a lot of the stuff, because you can just die and it wasn't your fault, really. You just die. Now you might be saying, well, Vic, don't you like Halo, and power weapons are kind of like that, because if you get the RPG in Halo and you just shoot people and they just die. Well, I'm going to tell you why that's different. In Halo, the whole point of Slayer is fighting over those power weapons and fighting over the control of the power weapons so you can get more kills than the other team, and everybody has an equal use to it. There's not one person on the map that gets this thing that can insta-kill, and if you're good and you're better than the other person, you can still counter it by killing them, and then you get the weapon, okay? So it's a lot different. And it's not just an insta-kill thing that can't be countered unless you have your teammates there to help. Now, very different games, and you really shouldn't be comparing them, but that's what people would say. So with that being said, I really think that's going to do it for this video. See y'all in the next one. As always, tell me what I can do better with editing, talking, anything like that, audio, whatever it might be. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.